What's up guys, it's Ben and Parts here. Welcome back to yet another episode of this Cryptid cast series where we break down cryptids, their sightings, their possibilities, what they could or couldn't be and if they could be real or not. And today, if you know me, you'll know I'll do creatures that are not cryptids per se, but rather are spirits and entities, but they're often described as creatures by the people who see them and often perceived as creatures. So therefore, because they're mysterious and because they're unusual, I include them here. And today we've got the Tokoloshi, a terrifying, mischievous, demon-like entity in South Africa that is often the terror of the Zulu people and indeed a lot of other people around them. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell button, follow me on Instagram, and without further ado, let's get started. Like I said, today we visit South Africa for a story about the Tokoloshi, a small and terrifying being that really messes with your ability to get a restful night's sleep. Tokoloshis are told about in Zulu mythology throughout South Africa, and indeed, even by other people. These creatures, like incubuses, succubuses and other demonic entities, are said to attack you in your sleep, when your consciousness and spirit is at its lowest, and when you're most vulnerable, and they're said to be part of the reason why many people in the Zulu culture sleep with their beds raised off of the floor even today. Tokoloshis physically are described in a large variety of ways. One constant is that they're very small, and are sometimes described as humanoid, like gremlins or brownies, and sometimes, much like Bigfoot, are actually described as being ape-like creatures with glowing eyes that are hostile and hiss menacingly when they're seen. These creatures are, needless to say, very malevolent and very dangerous. As said before, they crawl into sleeping people's rooms and, much like with other demonic entities, cause all kinds of havoc. They will scratch at people, try to scar people, choke them with their long, bony fingers, interfere with them, terrify them. One way to keep the Tokoloshi at bay was said to put bricks beneath the legs of one's bed. That puts you out of reach of the Tokoloshi, so even though you may be at your lowest and your consciousness may be at its lowest, which is when demons will often prey on you, this entity will therefore not be able to cause you any havoc. If a Tokoloshi is terrorizing a community constantly, what will often happen is that people will either summon the witch doctor, the priest, the imam, or some other religious figure who will use salt to drive them away, use a blessing, use a Quran recitation, or use some kind of traditional magic, particularly those that practiced by the Sangoma, to ward away the Tokoloshi and make it go away. Tokoloshis are usually described as male, but in 2009 there were lots of cases of a female-sized Tokoloshi who claimed to be called Livashni going around South Africa and terrorizing people. It was said to identify itself with its name, to terrorize people in their sleep, to scratch at them, to attack them. Tokoloshis are usually described as being male and being small and being mysterious, but clearly the Tokoloshis can shapeshift, and clearly they are different sexes, just like humans are male and female. Which brings me to the portion of the video that, as usual, I conclude with. What is this Tokoloshi? Well, it's clearly a jinn, aka a genie, aka a spirit, aka a demon, aka a nature guide. I believe that, as evidence and mythology and folklore proves all around us, there are beings of the unseen all around us. They usually exist in their own dimension, but they can take different forms. They can become ape-like, they could appear as regular animals, they could appear as mishmashes of animals, think the Wendigo, they could appear as mysterious creatures that we can't even comprehend, and some of them, like humans and will help humans, such as the tradition of English fairies helping with crops and helping people with farm work, but sometimes they are resentful of humans, they despise humans, and they detest humans. They will either live in a region, like a mountainous region or a forest region, where few people will go, and when people go there, they will try and mislead them and make them lose their way. Or sometimes, in the cases of incubuses, succubuses, and beings like the Tokoloshi, they will outright attack you and even try to kill you. And as someone who's actually been strangled by a demonic entity in their sleep, which really did viscerally try to kill me, I fully believe the Tokoloshi is a real thing, and I can believe how horrifying it is. But what do you guys think? Do any of you know anyone out there who's seen a Tokoloshi? Do any of you have any experience of speaking to someone who's seen one? Have any of you experienced one yourself? Do any of you have any demonic entity sightings? I did a video on the Beast of Busco, a thankfully very benevolent sweet turtle that just happened to be a giant turtle in a specific lake in America. And I actually got a comment underneath from someone who'd actually seen this turtle, and well, rather seen different turtles, and claimed to have seen them in giant sizes multiple times, which started a fascinating exchange. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you gained some insight. If there's anything I've missed out or anything you'd like me to add, please write it below, and I hope to see you for the next video.